This is your daily market review for Thursday, October 19th, 2023. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka The Trading Agent, and this is your daily market review for Thursday, October 19th, 2023. Smashing, simply smashing. Hopefully you are having an amazing week, like most of us are in the Discord room and who are following. As we've talked about, options expiration can be choppy, but the market direction would be south in time because of the setup, the formations, and the reoccurring patterns that seem to always play out in trends. Now, a lot of people are holding on to seasonality as a reason for the market to go up. I've said many times that I see the seasonality actually working against the market because of what? End of year, lock-in, yearly performance, institutional, mutual fund, forced selling, all sorts of things that lead to potential pain in time. Because why? We are going into a recession. We do have problems. And the market has not priced that in. Keeping that in mind. So, it's not going to be a straight line move, one way or the direction or another. Just be prepared. Trade around your positions. Know that the market is doing what? Take about the most amount of money for the most amount of people. Stick around so that you can get more insights into why and what we expect. Know your levels. Also, again, define your risk. Please don't chase. Please don't chase the market short right now. Wait for pops. And if you want to play counter moves, just be careful. Be short term. Be thoughtful. If you're new to trading, please check out the Discord room and all of the fun assets that are included with this channel. Again, link in the description below. Please, if you're on YouTube, check us out. Again, educational trading videos. There are a whopping 52 of them. Oh, guess what? There's videos on options expiration. There you go. Please follow on the Twitter or letter X. I don't know what the hell you call it now, but posted a lot of trades, posting what's going on. A lot of W's. And again, no one wins all the time. Just keep that in mind. However, with probabilities and doing things, what I would say the right way will lead to what? Yeah, wins. More wins than not, right? The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to minimize losses, maximize the dubs. Also, check out the website, thetradingagent.com. Back to Basic series and from beginner to advanced. Also, to get your 5.4% at Goldman. And if you're worried about Schwab, some of these other TD Ameritrade brokers going belly up, interactive brokers will not be, in my opinion. Done the research best I can. Again, can't hold me accountable for your decisions, but use the link above to get a referral bonus. Well, this is probably going to be almost 100% now. Next meeting is, I think, what? Yeah, there it goes. 197. Now we're actually pricing in a potential pivot. Oh my God, for the November meeting. It's starting to move. The needle is moving. Everyone pay attention to this because remember previously it was showing rate hike or pause. Now we're actually seeing small probability of what? A cut. Interesting. Keep an eye on that. The Bitcoin, as we talked about, 28,000 is going to be hard. Gold, Bitcoin, even oil, it's hard to really trust them to staying ups because there's liquidity, right? Like if people start selling and liquidating everything as the recession comes, the best time to buy this stuff is when what? The Feds pivot. And they start flushing the market with liquidity. Because right now, QE is over. You have QT. You have world economy selling American bonds. You have everyone trying to cash out. They will throw the baby out with the bathwater. Natural gas. I don't even know why we talk about it. It's literally probably stuck in the mud. In time, it probably will be an amazing buy. The dollar, we said, watch out for it. The volatility, it was up, I think, 11, maybe 12 straight weeks. Watch the 20-day. Because if the dollar gets crushed, that could be interesting. The bonds. People ask me, bonds. What about bonds? What about bonds? What about Bob? No. I'm just like, I think there's better trades out there. I would like to say this is a huge, probably one of the biggest volume days ever on the TLT that I can remember. Let me just, yikes. Yeah. Highest volume in the TLT ever today. Capitulating or the start of an absolute slaughter? Your guess is as good as mine, but you know what? I'm thinking it might be one of those things. Right? What about Other trades, I don't know. I'm like pausing here trying to think of something funny to say. But at this point, I just think bonds are going to be volatile. Just be careful. The VIX, we said it's been holding up. Are we breaking out? The VIX volatility again. Remember, options expiration usually have up beginning of the week, down beginning later in the week, or vice versa. Like parts of the week up, parts of the week down. Tomorrow could be an interesting day. I mean, it could be a total bloodbath, or it could be one of those days where they try to trap some bears and try to bring some bulls. It's hard to know. VIX, wakey, wakey. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. You said there's a lot of tells going on. SPY. Well, a lot of people, and here, let's talk about this for a minute. I apologize, this is a long recap. A lot of people were like, all right, well, this is the start of the bull market. In seasonality, I'm like, there is some new money coming in. But don't be surprised if it's a lower high in just a few days. What did we say? Go watch the previous video. Said it could be a couple days. Worst case scenario, if we hang out up here, we could chop. Well, this has been the worst case scenario. And now what? Lower highs should be followed by what? Lower lows. Now, obviously, you got to watch, right? Like, not your watch, but you should be watching what? I mean, you got to watch these lows, right? Remember what happened last time? 50-day crash through it. Remember the first time we hit the 100, crash through it. Well, we didn't really touch the 200-day. Are we about to crash? Crash into me. Little Dave Matthews. I mean, I would probably suspect that at worst, we're probably coming back down into this 415 area, right? Think about the volume nodes. Like, that would probably be a good spot to assume that we could get another little bounce. This makes sense. Moving on. Q. What do we say? Channel high failure. Watch the 20-day. Now, again, this zone here, let's just widen it out for shites and giggles. Yeah, watch the 354. Now, this stuff, again, I think the biggest epic tech short in history is about to line up. But we'll see what happens here. Again, it's just, I wish I could tell you every day it's going to be a complete bloodbath or, this and that. That's just hard. Remember, on the path from A to Z, you have to see some bouncies here and there. Like, it's just not, it's like, zit, like that happens. Okay. So people are like, oh, it's bullish. It's like, it's just oversold. IWM, spaghettios. We've said this has been lagging for a while. Looks like absolute crap. Small caps lead. DIA high, DIA low. We said watch the zone around the 340s. Doink. Lower highs, lower lows. Let's get into gold. A lot of people are like, oh, you missed the move. No, I'm not really worried about gold. There's other trades out there. However, I have not said once that I would recommend shorting it. We talked about actually go watch the video. Like, probably compressing going to be a buy. Well, we know for a fact that this will rise with geopolitical tension, but then as soon as there's any sniff of like either it's going to stick around like Ukraine or it's not as bad, this stuff could get smoked. Again, we want to buy gold at the safest, easiest time because there's other trades. But if you want to take gold and you did, congrats. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I was right and you were wrong. No, you were right. I was right. Said it could go higher. I just would like other trades. We talked about it. Would I trade it? I said, maybe it might get paused here. Well, clearly now we're coming back up against resistance. But here's the problem. A lot of people like silver. And I'm like, silver and the miners are a little tougher. They're not going to probably, like, here's gold up here at 22. Silver is lagging. Expect that. GDX, again, we've talked about when the VIX spikes, get ready. Because these things can get absolutely slaughtered. They become liquidity issues. They're part of the market. They also have funding issues through debt. Miners can get slaughtered. Go check the past. Because I've lived through it. I thought complete opposite. And I saw miners get cut by 50% when I was like, whoa, gold's holding up. The market is crap. And it's like, oh, they didn't rally until the Fed provided liquidity. GDXJ hitting the hundo day. AG, again, we like these names long-term, but let them come in. AEM, let it come in. PAAS. That looks okay. Like, it looks like a fake breakout, but I don't know. PAAS. Oh, forgot Newmont. CHOP. Here was Newmont. We said, watch this. Remember, the miners lead. You can't really like it when it hits the 100-day and backs off. Now, could this be just a little backup? Keep an eye on. Again, if you want to trade, this is the hard trade. As we've said forever in this program, as I'm calling it now, this is like teaching. Try to do the easy thing. It makes you sleep at night. It's much easier. right? Like, I know there's a lot of crap going on in the world. I know a recession's coming. I know things are going to get worse. Feds are struggling with interest rates. Interest rates have a lagging effect. Unemployment's going to increase in time. And then we'll probably see more pain. Does this make sense? All right, TSM had earnings after the close yesterday into the morning. Uh-oh. Or maybe this morning. Not good. That's not a good candle. Keep an eye on it. Micron. A lot of people are frustrated by it, as I can understand completely. Like, get down. While the market was holding up. Nope. Now it engulfed that. Might be a bye-bye-bye. Not like a buy, but a bye-bye. Again, these names are holding up okay. Watch the 20-day. I mean, once these break, though, it could be huge. We'll see. I mean, again, whatever you're doing, define your risks. Set your stops. Be smart. NVIDIA, breaking the 100-day. This is just like a matter of time. This is an absolute ticking time bomb. The stock is not going to hold up. It's a matter of if, not when, it gets throttled. Intel, living on a prayer. Again, you know, we like to draw trend lines, but I prefer trend boxes, right? Why are like, oh, it's like, don't bring a ruler to trading. Duh. Right? Like, watch what happens here. Keep an eye on it. The SMH. We talked about it hitting its channel. Doink. Now it's sitting at the low end of channel. Keep an eye on it. Now remember, it's OPEX. Friday. I mean, could there be games tomorrow? Adobe holding up. Apple, if you shorted this, we talked about this. Every pop now to the 50-day. Now, again, it's probably not the most aggressive time to short, but I think this is going back down to range lows. At worst, could be this channel and falls out of it. Like, and it goes kapow. Keep an eye on it. Amazonians. Talked about this, hitting the 50-day, the 50 dizzle. Boink. Now it's chopping around. It looks good. I mean, again, you have to use the advantage of, take advantage of the volatility. Just because we're not down every day, well, it's like trade around your positions. And then guess what? When they pop, you're like, cool. Cool. A little bounce is never going to, like, oh, God, it's bouncing. Oh, it's the start of... No, just trade around it, and then you just re-short it. It's like same thing in a bull market. Buy the dip. Sell the rip. Buy the dip. Sell the rip. Buy the dip. Just over and over. CRM, 50-day. I mean, when it breaks the 200 and the 200-day area, goodbye. Shorted Google today. It was like, you know what? This thing is it's just riding this channel. I'm going to take a stab at it. Shorted it around this like 140.85. However, I can't say it's bearish yet. We have a multi-day range here, right? I mean, if I went intraday, you could see it, but there's clear as mud. No, sorry, clear as day. Like, there's literally a support here. If it breaks, cool. If it doesn't, well, you know what? Set my stop, move on. It's okay. Meta, we talked about retesting the highs. Once it held like son of a biscuit. Like, this has been pretty hard. And again, some stocks are. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to nail every trade. Again, the worst thing someone can have is expectations of perfection and never losing. Because guess what? That's how you put yourself in the box of pain. Because then you can't admit when you're wrong, or you potentially can't pivot. Microsoft. Talked about the 335 area. Seems to be hitting it. Dink. NDAQ. We talked about it. Earnings pop was like, oh, that's a gift. Oh, here you go. Looks like it's a short bear. MicroStrategy. Chopping around. Again, as long as Bitcoin holds up. I mean, this could be a long for a scalp, right? Like, if you believe Bitcoin has more room to run, why wouldn't it backtest the trend line and maybe 370s? Again, is it the easiest trade? No. Netflix. I know people who wanted to short it this morning. I'm like, it's OPEX. Let it play out. Closed at the 50-day. You kind of know that there's going to be some trappy games up here. Again, if you short this today and then you come back 3 months from now or 2 months from now, you're probably like, oh, that was a great trade. If you shorted it at the open, you're probably pissed off. It's kind of one of those things where the 3-day rule could be in effect, but it depends on the market. The hardest thing about shorting the open after earnings is you don't know what trap they're going to get to or what the games. Because sometimes you can see these things fall right out of bed and go, and then it did, and then it came right back, and then look where it closed. This is why you just don't chase. Roblox. Ooh, come to 32.50s. Again, we like this long term if it gets beaten, but don't. Trust. Tesla. This is what you call a professional gap below the channel. This is absolutely ugly and bearish. Disgusting. However, you are filling the gap down here, the 200-day. don't chase it. Wait for some pops, please. It is bad. It is confirmed bearish. It's game over for Tesla. We've been telling folks since November of 2021, we said this is what you call an exponential blow-off move out of a channel. Good night. And now it's been a downtrend ever since. And every time it just rallies, people get excited. And it's like, long-term, don't trust it. Like the big move is over. Now this is going to be in a massive consolidation stage, or it's just going to get crushed. And it could come back to lower prices. No one liked to hear that. Letter X, again, getting bought out, holding up. But keep in mind, it's just material names. Again, whoever the suitors are might struggle because, again, X has a ton of debt. I don't know what the right price is. Nucor, we'll try to speed this up. Chopping around. We talked about this area would fail in time. Looking at them apples. Good old Caterpillar. Meow. A lot of people were like, this is so frustrating, Dan. I don't know what to do. Dude, these were gifts. Trade around. We talked about it hitting the 50-day on, what was that, Tuesday? If you shorted at 276, look at this. And then yesterday, people were like, well, I'm taking all my profits. I'm like, oh, don't take your profits. All of them, please. Trade around your position. You have an M top. You have lower high. You have lower low. Lower high. Lower low. It's coming. FedEx. We talked about this. Any bounce short this. Broke below 100-day. It's chopping around. I mean, the best time was earlier in the week. It's just a matter of time. In my opinion, humble opinion. VALE. Talked about global growth names. They don't really look good. Do they? I don't know. You tell me. No, again, we like materials long term, but we do not want to buy them because we want people to absolutely throw them away like they're trash on the floor, and we're going to pick up these diamonds at some point. Arrow is an example. Copper. CCJ. Be careful. I'm watching this 20-day. Again, I'm not going to short this, but it just confirms me again. Like here, you can see pretty damn clearly. I don't know, somewhere in this area. Just keep an eye on it. Again, uranium, I don't know. Ag names. People got to eat. We're talking about let these names come in. Mosaic, same thing. Let these names come in. NTR, let these names come in. Good God. Did not see Alcoa. Someone wanted to buy this last week. Ouch. You know who you are. Again, it's like, why would I go long in a market that feels like it's going to get throttled? XLF, the easiest trade in the history of man, was posted, talked about, and very what? Hit the 100, the 200, and the 50-day. I mean, it's like a wall. It's like an impenetrable dink. Short. If you shorted JP Morgan, congratulations. We said wait for earnings. Second mouse gets the cheese. I have so many arrows over this because it literally is just pointing down. We said watch the 149, 150. It's probably a good zone. Morgan Stanley had their earnings. We said that looks like a start of a gap and go. Breaking the lows. Goldman Sachs. Now again, just be prepared. Don't chase these names. If you chase these names, don't. We talked about it breaking the trend. And then we said, watch what happens here around 315. I mean, it just ding, 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 held there. Goodbye. Right? KRE, we talked about junior banks oversold. Near term, maybe just chopping here. Goodbye. XBI, we talked about this being like a sign of risk on. It's been showing risk off. Risk off. Solar. I get a lot of flack from folks. They just like, you are cursed solar. I'm like, no, solar always does crappy in a recession when governments have to cut spending and subsidies. What are you doing? Man, look, since the 200-day, it's just been straight snacker. Now, again, we talked about being oversold. Look for a bounce. Not much. Sedge, I got so much flack again. I was like, you might want to sell up here. The CEO is. And then he starts buying down here. He said, be careful because sometimes they'll buy a small amount of shares to try to support the market. He doesn't care. He made millions. He'll probably make hundreds of millions and tens of millions. He's like, I'll buy 10,000 shares. People will think, or no, he's like, no, I'll buy 1,000 shares. People get bullish. Sedge, ENPH, same thing. Sorry, ENPH was the one. Yep, in the 320. Oh, so bad. First Solar, again, said watch for pops. I mean, I'd really like to see the 160, but you might not get it. Be careful. Earnings are coming. HYG, we talked about this one. Corporate debt. When it starts looking crappy, be careful. Moderna, here's an example of being wrong and pivoting. You know, we thought more COVID stuff was coming. We talked about it holding here. Maybe a trade got stopped out. That's why you just pivot, you leave it alone, and now we look at it and we go, oh, glad I wasn't in that. That seems like a huge win to not be trading this thing, trying to expect a COVID long. USO, chopping around again, global instability. That's your guess as good as mine near term. UNG, ugly. XOP, again, oil and gas names get thrown out, maybe the bathwater. Watch up here, retesting, still own drip. Got to stop on it. If it doesn't work, doesn't work. Who gives a you know what? Moving on. Exxon Mobil said, watch up here. Watch up here. This could be a failure zone. If it does, great. If it doesn't, who cares? Valero talked about this. Watch the 20-day, the 50-day. Keep an eye on it. Again, I mean, these are not the easiest trades, but they make sense. We said keep an eye on NPC. It's like it's acting well, but you see that there's here. Let me just draw it just to for the folks who are visually focused, like kind of I am. Like I don't know, you could draw it like this way. Watch this zone here. Like there's a lot of candles and wicks and stuff that get stuck here. Interesting area. What else? PXD is getting bought out. We don't need to worry about. EQT said watch the 44 here. Look at this. Doink. Flex LNG, and we'll end it here. If you have any questions, again, please reach out. We love exporting natural gas, in my opinion, for the long run. Just at this point, leave it alone. If you're new to the channel, again, please check out the Discord room. And if you're in it, get involved. Ask questions. If you're new, I'm going to be pretty patient and nice with you. But if you're stuck around and you're doing the same stupid things, don't post stupid things. Actually, hit me up. Use the Calendly link. I will give you 30 minutes of my time for free, gladly. How can I help you? But if you have an ego and you're like, I don't need help and this guy does, okay, well then it's okay. It is okay. You can't help everybody, but you have to help yourself first. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. If you need help with real estate, for the love of God, please reach out. This is not going to be easy. Buying and selling houses now. If you want to buy a house, a lot of people are going to go, oh, it's the worst time to buy a house. Again, it's not actually. When you get discounts on assets that are protected against inflation, because people will need a place to live, and if they're not buying, rents will go higher. I can promise you that. Always does. Remember, there's a limited inventory. You just need to be prepared. This is, again, this is when real estate agents that don't know what they're doing fall off a cliff. And this is where the top shine. And this is where if you have an investor mindset, even if you're not an investor mindset, long-term mindset, you're going to be able to pick up names on discounts. Now, don't go in a market price, but do your homework. Get somebody involved. Use me as a referral. I will find you an amazing agent anywhere, almost in the world, because EXP has a huge connection. And again, I will not vouch, but I will actually, what's the word? Blah, blah, blah. I will do my due diligence to see what agents in your area can be the best for you. And then that's my job. And then I can help you out. So again, if you have any questions, Calendly link. Thank you all for the love, the support. Dude, those generous donations, you guys are awesome. You understand the value of a free education. Again, pay yourself, or put money away for taxes. Treat your family, reward everybody involved in your life so they think trading is an amazing thing and it gives you the positive reinforcement to do the right things. And then if you want to chip off a little bit for your homie here, I appreciate it. All right, have a great night. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.